It's all about just kind of working out the places to get your phone
That's also buy a new phone.
Yeah, I bet that was part of the plan. You could potentially buy stolen stuff.
The funny thing is, what is that phone that's
That is, my friend's wife is stolen. Well, basically, he knew someone that was involved with the criminal involvement. They went to kind of check it out, and they found his wife. It's been like an hour, basically. They were like, yeah, we'll get it back now.
What was that again?
So it's called Olio,
Olio.
or Olio, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
Uh-huh.
I downloaded it quite recently, and what it is, it's like a community app that you can basically, if you have anything you want to give away, say, you know, a wardrobe or a phone, for instance, or a basketball. I know, exactly, that's what I was thinking.
It's breaking my heart now.
I know. And it is, and there is obviously, you can borrow things, so it's proper kind of communal in that sense.
Oh, you can also borrow, huh?
Borrow as well, yeah. So, you know, if you need a drill or something like that, so you can just put an add-on. But the kind of the main one is food. So it's for obviously people that kind of, you know, essentially need food.
Yeah.
There's lots of waste, so shops and bars and cafes will kind of donate food at the end of the day, so you can go and collect it. And just people, anyone in their houses, if they have excess food, they just put it on. They'll take a photo and say if you want to come around and collect it.
Okay.
So it's very kind of communal, quite, you know,
That's nice.
old school in many ways.
So that's how you got the ball.
That's how I got this ball a couple of days ago. It's
Nice.
essentially brand new.
Okay, so I can't download the app yet because I don't have my phone.
Your
or-
phone, exactly. Did you say you ordered a new one, or?
We're gonna go later.
So go
to
get
see.
one, yeah?
Yeah. Hopefully I
If you
can get one.
Yeah. If you get, obviously, 'cause it'll be on, you know, any kind of smartphone essentially, though.
Okay.
But it's
So you can't browse it on a website, only on the app.
It might, maybe there's
Oh,
another
yeah.
way of kind of signing in.
Okay.
I've obviously just used my phone, but it's yeah, obviously, like, this was a brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it
going
looks
around.
brand new.
It does. I mean, and obviously for them, they're just thinking, I don't use it. Instead of chucking it away, I'm going to see
Yeah,
if someone else
true.
wants it. You know, so.
True.
So it was kind of perfect, got me out on a Saturday morning, which is quite rare, so, you know what I mean, it's got loads of benefits, but obviously because you're here, like say if there was something like this on there, you could literally go and pick it up and then put it back on the app a couple of days later, before you go, kind of thing, you know what I mean, so you could take it and then give it back to someone.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
And be part of that kind of cycling process, but
Nice.
kind of gain, you know, from that kind of communal aspect of,
Yeah. That's nice.
yeah, kind
Okay.
of giving and taking, you know what I mean, so.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take a look at it once I get my
Once you get your
phone.
phone, obviously, yeah. Which is a bit kind of a weird one, because obviously people that need or are more in need, obviously, of things like food and certain items might not have a smartphone. You know what I mean, in that situation. So
Yes.
it's a bit of a weird one, but you can do it. There's a thing called I think it's like Be a Hero or something like that. So you go to a supermarket and take a big lot of their food, and then you kind of essentially get rid of it from your house. So it's like you're the kind of like a food hero or something, like a waste hero or something. So there's lots of kind of cool ways of really kind of taking initiative and just doing kind of nice things, you know what I mean, essentially. And
I'm gonna take a look at that and see what else I can do aside from just getting something like a ball
yeah,
or
for
anything.
sure. If there's anything you want to give away, or you know, if you want to kind of do anything communal in that
Too bad.
sense.
Most of my stuff is in Malaysia, so
For sure, yeah. I'm thinking like you could literally you could find something, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
The
Just
ball,
that
that is
one,
a bit
grab
bust
it
up,
and
but
then
it's like,
donate there.
literally, and a kid might need it somewhere,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just
true.
like, if you want to obviously use the app in that sense, then it's all good, but you know what I mean, you can still, you know, take something, give it back and be part of the process, you know what I mean, in that cycle, which is positive, you know what I mean, so.
That's nice.
Yeah, and you might get something cool, you know?
Okay, I'll definitely upload this one as too.
Yeah, we'll do that. Batman or Spider-Man tonight, I think, since...
Batman. Is
Yeah,
there still
the
a
new
movie?
Batman.
Oh, where Robert Pattinson is.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it? Or?
Yeah, I did.
Good?
So it's still showing here?
Well, it's in that, what do you call it? You know Amazon Prime?
Oh,
They have
you
like a-
download, you're
yeah, they can
watching it on streaming. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
Well, my sister's going to rent it so much.
Yeah. It's nice, it's nice.
Yeah?
It's just that I'm not sure if they're planning to have a sequel of this one.
I think they are. I think he's already said that he's going to do it.
Okay,
Robert
that's good.
Pattinson guy.
Yeah, it was nice because it's like a classic thing. He's like the younger version of Batman,
Yeah.
where he's starting like.
Because he's always a bit old, isn't he?
Yeah.
Generally. I mean, he was in his 40s. He was a bit cranky.
Yeah, it's just I don't think it's gonna be connected to the DC universe where there is.
Well, that's what I would say in the sense of like, obviously, as a Marvel fan, the DC is always going to be a bit like, you know, it's like, you know, chalk and cheese, but.
So you prefer more DC than Marvel?
I prefer Marvel.
Oh, okay.
All the way. I just think DC just don't quite do it.
Yeah.
I think their kind of attempt to please everyone ruins their kind of approach. You know what I mean? In a sense where they don't get too, you know, for instance, Deadpool is, you know, he's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But he kind of added to Marvel in a sense, like, not everyone's perfect and everyone's kind of like all superheroes are absolutely, it's just, you know what I mean? There has to be some realism to kind of bring it back to earth, you know, and Marvel, you know, I mean, it's more because they're funny as well.
Yeah,
and, you know, they're
I think
so
that's one of the things I like, is like there's some blend of like funny stuff.
Yeah,
like,
the
you know,
drama, the funny. You have all the elements of a good story.
exactly.
You know? DC, I think they play it too safe. You know what I mean? Sometimes the acting and the stories are a bit too kind of stereotypical.
It's a bit subtle for me.
Yeah,
it's
like
like
the, you know, the one with all of them in the I don't even know what they're called now.
What's that?
With, you know, it had Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
Justice League.
Yeah, exactly. I just found it just a bit dead. I was like, if you gave me, I'm not even a director. And
is this the long one, the latest one that they had like?
That was slightly better. The Jack Snyder one was a little bit better.
The previous one was not okay, right?
I just thought it was crap, man. It was just like lame. And I mean, with the characters that you could potentially make, yeah, I just felt like the acting, the dialogue was just lame. You know what I mean? So, and I don't like Ben Affleck very much, so I was like, excuse me, Ben Affleck's Batman.
I prefer him to be like the Daredevil. Have you watched his movie when he was Daredevil?
Which was terrible, mate. Like, they've never done particularly good things with him. No, he's done good films. He's done really good directing stuff. I don't really like him as an actor.
Okay.
It's nothing personal. It's more, you know, in my preference of actors. You know what I mean? He's just not the kind of actor I like. So.
True.
And for him to be Batman, it didn't connect for me. I didn't feel it.
But Robert is. Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so I think you can.
Well, the thing is, I've seen him in. Like, the thing is, obviously, he comes from the Twilight thing, you know.
Yeah.
Which is very kind of, you know, bit, you know. It's
from being a
niche,
vampire
you know what I mean?
to becoming Batman.
Girls kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's like all One Direction kind of thing. But it is literally, he's done so many films since that, you know what I mean, are completely out there, like A24 production, things that aren't commercial, but
he's really
good,
good.
man.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good actor,
Nice.
so I just use that. I don't, you know what I mean? It's not like...
Yeah, the Twilight one was like, he's a bit, I don't know, the acting was a little dull for me. It was like, everyone was doing so good, but his performance was like...
Yeah, just a bit kind of like, for something that's so kind of iconic, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Spider-Man. It's like, I think Tom Holland is a very good Spider-Man.
Yep.
I haven't seen that. I want to see
Oh,
that.
you haven't watched No Way From Home? That's really nice, man.
Yeah. And it's got so much from our kind of generations, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, the Sam Raimi kind of movies, all that kind of stuff.
So you watch those, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would, like, Spider-Man was one, you know,
one
of my, if not my favourite character growing up, so
nice.
I always had Spider-Man toys, you know what I mean? But yes, there is that kind of... The old ones were really good, and then they did the same thing with Batman, where they kept doing the kind of origin story, the same kind of like, oh, the uncle dies, then he kind of loses it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with the Tom Holland one, it was a bit more.
This one is.
It was more authentic to the actual comics. You know what I mean? The Spider-Man comics.
Oh yeah, that one. I'm not following the comics one. Like, I'm just basing it on the movie itself.
Yeah. Well, you can gather enough knowledge to kind of, you know, build the characters.
But it's really nice, yeah.
Knowing just kind of little niche things. I mean, like, Spider-Man is from Queens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So imagine there was a character that was from London, for instance, and when they made a movie of him, he had an Australian accent. It would be a bit jarring. It would be a bit like, well, it's not very authentic, is it? It's not very original. And that's kind of what they did with all the, with, what's his name? Tobey Maguire. And the other guy who's actually English, but they had standard American accents.
Andrew Garfield.
Exactly, yeah. They had kind of very, you know, from just mid-state or somewhere around there, where Spider-Man is from Queens.
From Queens.
You know what I mean? Like, properly, in a sense.
I didn't know Tom Holland was actually not American.
Yeah, he's English.
Oh,
yeah. He's like proper like,
yeah, when I heard his interviews, like, oh, he has this English accent. Oh, I didn't know that.
But he did that quite, like, very consciously to develop, like, his Queens accent.
It's like, it's really very, so natural.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Well, the thing is, our generation, no, not our generation, I suppose the generation a little bit before. Because I work in a school, and it's like a sixth form, so they're you know, it's like 16 to 19, and they are very Americanized.
Oh,
because of for sure, man. Like, because of YouTube.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, they spend half of their childhoods watching American people. You know what I mean? So they say tomato, like, all the kids in the place, they all say tomato instead of tomato.
Tomato, yeah.
Which is like, you know, we've got like kind of phrases and jokes about that, you know, in a sense. It's like, you'd never think it would get to a point where literally all the younger generations say it in an American accent. And there's so many other things. They say like garbage, trash, and they say words that we've never used. Yeah. In our culture, at least. And now, because
but you use it rubbish, right? Rubbish?
I say rubbish, yeah. Rubbish. Yeah, for sure. Because I'm old. I mean, but it is, the new generations are kind of very much, they're Americanized. And my niece and nephew, 7 years and 10 years old, they say all different American words. You know, if they start saying aluminum, that's when I'm going to start losing my shit. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Aluminum? Pasta? No, you got to be careful. But, yeah, it's definitely becoming a thing. But I think he kind of benefited from that. You know what I mean? Like, he probably grew up hearing a lot of American accents.
So it's not like going to be too much of a challenge for him to like adjust to the accent.
It's like growing up with, you know, say a Spanish mother and an English father. Now you're gonna probably end up speaking both languages if your mother, you know, speaks Spanish.
True. So. That's good. This is an advantage for you.
It is, for sure. Definitely, man. The thing about me playing basketball is I just want to kick it. I'm so used to playing football, so it's like, it doesn't feel right having a ball in my hand all the time.
So how long have you been playing football?
Since I was a kid, man.
Oh, okay. So it's like football's really your sport.
Yeah. I spend all my time watching it and playing it, pretty much. Not playing it as much, but definitely watching it.
Okay.